Okay.
I think it's your turn to
Yeah,
do
you did a shit ton of reading last time, so I'll do it this time. Several civilian houses were burned during the rebellion. Kyoto needed to be rebuilt, but it looked as if the process would take a while. Did my best to look for my father while we were out on patrol, but try as I might.
Fucking losers.
My vision is terrible. And it's also September. Surprise. Saito and his men had this particular shift, so I joined them. The heat in the city is unbearable. It's basically Arizona. There's a group of people sitting listlessly at the side of the road, and I stopped to stare at them. They probably lost their homes in the fire. Now I feel bad for staring at them.
Saito?
He turned around and looked at me placidly.
Placidly. Yes. I mean, no. Nothing like that. I was just, hoping to talk to those people. Would that be okay?
Those people.
They might know something about my father.
He frowned just slightly.
Is that not okay? Thanks, bro.
Speed interrogations.
Thank you.
I jogged over toward the small crowd of people who looked up as I approached.
Excuse me, but I'm looking for someone. He's bald and...
That's our only descriptor for our dad. He's
so
bald and he's a doctor. Have you seen him?
I can't believe we started with bald. Not just like an older man who is bald.
Oh god. I talked to several different people, but none of them knew anything about a bald doctor. Like, what the heck, man? Is he even still here? Could he have gotten involved in the Hamaguri rebellion and died? I feel like someone would have had to ID him though, right? Nah, that's not possible. He had to be alive. I wiped sweat from my face and desperately tried to convince myself that it's true. Saito was walking in front of me when he suddenly turned around and spoke. Thank you, I am hot.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm so fine. I didn't want him to worry, so I just smiled. I'm dying, though.
Yeah, thank you.
I knew the only reason he was being so attentive was because Hijikata gave him orders to take care of me, but it's still nice that he's making sure I'm okay.
What about you? Aren't you hot? You're wearing black and you've got a jacket on. Heat stroke? Water?
He frowned almost imperceptibly and laid a hand on his sword.
Oh no!
Can that happen even while it's in the sheath?
Maybe it's like you have to dry it if you're gonna put it back in.
Oh no. He was more worried about his sword than himself.
It must be really important to you. Amen.
That's the warrior prayer. Amen. As he spoke, Saito pulled up short and turned to look at the building in front of which we stood. It appeared to be a sword shop.
Wow.
He's staring at the sword on display. You're cheating on your soul?
Wow.
His gaze almost hungry, like watching a child who just discovered a new toy he couldn't resist.
Saito.
He twitched a little in surprise and looked at me. Yeah, I caught you.
We're working right now, Saito. Yeah.
Let him have his fun. He composed himself and walked back toward the rest of his men.
You looked really excited. Was that a nice sword?
Drew himself up a little as he began to speak. Oh boy, here we go. He's about to nerd out. Oh! Oh, what? An old sword made between the late Kamakura period to mid Nanbokucho period. 1300 to 1350 in Bizen province. Many legends have formed about it and its uncanny sharpness. It's a very pointy sword. Oh, oh, oh.
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 He's a tough one.
So sharp.
刀といえば備前刀、備前刀といえば長船という言葉もあるほど、備前には優秀な刀工が多い。今日、現存する刀は備前刀が一番多いと言われていて。
Wow.
Oh. Sorry, I was just looking up what it was.
In the future. We continued to talk about swords for some time.
Wow.
To be honest, I never saw him so talkative before. It seemed a little strange that swords brought him out of his shell, but honestly, I could have expected it if I had thought about it. It's nice.
どうかしたか。笑われるようなことを言ったつもりはないが、もしや今の講釈に誤りでもあったか。
Fact check me, please.
No, not at all.
では何故笑っていたのだ。
You're funny.
What was I going to say?
You didn't
I
pull it up.
forgot yet again because we were thinking about food.
So true.
And I love thinking about food instead of guides for the ending. I think I understand, though.
I don't really know much about swords, but I think I do kind of understand how you feel about them.
I laid one hand on my kodachi as I spoke.
My sword is really tiny.
We're about to be such a poser, this is gonna be painful.
I cherish my sword too.
Even though I never use it. Saito's mouth twitched into a wry, genuine smile. And a butterfly flew over the moon.
ならばその子たちも必ずやあんたの思いに応えてくれるだろう。
Is this foreshadowing? Will I get to actually use my sword? Please, for the love of God. I will love you forever if we get to use this sword in your route. His tone was flat as ever, but there was a look in his eyes that I'd never seen before. It was different from when he spoke up in meetings or issued orders to his men. I could see how much he cared about his swords.
Swords.
急いで屯所に戻らねばな。思った以上に時間がかかってしまった。
You're right.
I nodded, but Saito suddenly stopped. This is the opposite of speeding up to make up for lost time, my dude. I looked over and his face seemed strained. Uh-oh, do you gotta take a poopy?
今、俺が刀に見とれて時
You
間を
want to go buy the sword?
そう
Don't worry, I won't tell Hijikata what happened. I don't think he'd care.
He seemed to relax.
そうか。俺もまだまだ未熟だな。タイムよりも己の興味を優先する。
He's blushing. He hunched his shoulders and walked more quickly.
Good night.
Watching him made me think of how he'd looked when we stopped in front of the shop earlier. He'd been so excited, just like a little kid. Made me smile.
どうした？何を笑っている？
Nothing in fire. Just like remembering something.
何を思い出していたのかは聞かずともわかる。大方俺が店先の刀に見入ってしまい。
Oh, you
タイムをおろそ
absolute
かにしたことを笑ってい
dingus.
たんだろう。
Oh, you sweet, sweet, dumb idiot.
I wasn't laughing at you.
弁解などいらん。先ほどの所業はあんたに笑われても仕方ある
Oh,
まい。
Jesus Christ, sir.
This is gonna take some work.
反省同じよ。
No!
He looked away from me with an attitude that could only be described as sulking. It wasn't that I meant to mock him. There'd just been something about his childlike glee that was really great and cute and wonderful. No doubt telling him that would just have made it fucking worse, so, you know.
急ぐぞ。副長が豚書で我々の報告を待っている。
I'm worried that, you know, playing these games, what if, like, I find a guy cute and then I suddenly start talking in a valley accent? Like, no way! Like, I'd kill myself.
No!
Oh, bye!
It's just a knee-jerk reflex now. Saito is a quiet, taciturn man, which many people interpreted as a show of coldness.
These big words.
But when... Are you looking up taciturn?
Maybe.
You are so... Taco turn! Taco turn!
Leave me alone! Taciturn!
You absolute...
Reserved or uncommunicative... of a person, reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little.
I love how we don't even need alcohol for these recordings. We just... This is...
It's terrible.
It's wonderful. When swords were the subject of conversation, though, he lit up. He pouted when I mentioned it. It's great. I'd never guessed about it, but, you know, it cheered me up.
That he's not a robot.
God damn it. Oh my god, why are some of these chapters so fucking short? Wait, it was just September.
What did...
Now it's February. The dawn of the new year arrived, and also left because it's fucking February now. It's February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room.
Tea's ready, yeah boy.
おうすまないね雪村くん。
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill.
You get a cup, and you get a cup.
Whoa! He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
やっぱり寒い日には厚めのお茶がうまいね。
At least someone fucking appreciates us.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
Felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea is fucking chump change. Just the same, felt as if I was helping out in a way. That's a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present, where I'm useless.
嫁さんたちにお世話になったが、この豚書もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえにながら寝て
Smushed
やがる
sushi.
Rough.
あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選
I'm
組
about
を
to
受け入
punch
れて
this
くれる場
bird.
所なんてないでしょ。今日の嫌われ者だしね。
A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread on the table.
Don't tell me.
Oh
Hate this
no.
man.
西本願寺ですと先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが
でも数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて他にないでしょ。それにあの場所なら
How do we have
いざ
a
とい
few
う
hundred men?
動きやすいと思うんだけど。
How do we have new men
We
coming to the most
kidnapped
hated
him.
group?
Oh shit, that's me. This man was named Kashitaro Ito. Recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. Why would you do this to us, Heisuke?
God damn it.
He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and he's known for his scholarliness.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますわ。我々が西本願寺に移れば浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose.
That's not
That's not silent, literally. Fucking Sanan. Ito's brow twitched as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanan directly.
自社を隠れ蓑にして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州老師の方ではなくて、今日の治安を乱す不定老師に配慮して差し上げるなんて、三男さんもお優しいこと。
Ito's deflection of Sanan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanan. Cool.
Get
そんじゃを
owned.
過激派を抑える必要があるという点に関してはどう
Oops.
じゃあ、なんだ?
saying pwned?
I forgot about this guy. Also, I'm pretty sure the word owned has existed before pwned, but
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, what is pwned? Actually, like,
that's just old internet speak. It might have. I have a feeling it's probably originally because of a typo, but I've never actually looked into the origin of pwned, so I wouldn't
see.
know.
Thank you.
Yep.
切り合うときは、やあやあ我こそはって名乗りを上
Get
げて
this man.
Because I'm pretty sure he's not even an option.
He's not, but he's fine and problematic.
You know, like everybody in this place.
Yeah.
不定老師どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいがな。
三郎、口を慎みなさい。
Darling.
おっと悪い。つい本音が出た。
The other man beside Ito is Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. I don't believe it, but you know, that's what they say.
皆さん方、ごめんなさいね。この子は昔から口が悪くて。三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいな。あなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要だと思いますし。
I love this point where everybody just kind of bullies Sanan.
左腕が使い物にならなくても、
Wow.
採択と学識はタイのために大いに役立つはずですわ。
I watched as Sanan bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice.
伊藤さん、今のはどういう意味だ？
Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a wet stone. Ito seemed taken aback, and his eyes grew
あ
wide.
んたが言うように、三男さんは優秀な論客だ。けどな、剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ。
Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. I love how even we're like, sure, okay, bro. However,
ですが
he couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. Seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sanan of what he used to be, causing Sanan to fucking be a bitch baby.
ごめん遊ばせ。私としたことが失言でしたわ。三男さんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですものね。仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ。新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど。
Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず、屯所移転の件に関しては、もう少し話し合ってから決めるということで。伊藤さん、この後お付き合いを願いますから、先ほどの件についてもう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので。
ええ、喜んで。
Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them, even though he wasn't invited.
私もご一緒して構いませんか？
いいとも。ぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて、大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ。新選組幹部といえど、剣術ばかりではいかんからな。これからは広い視野と深い知識を身につけねばな。
は。
Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki, however, who still who still sat before us. Okay. Oh, I see. There's okay. Oh, nope, there he goes. He smirked coldly and then slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible. You know they're bad when even he hates them.
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助の野郎。帰ってきたらとっちめてやる。
Honestly, this is all Heisuke's fault.
伊藤さんは尊上派なんだろう。長州の奴らと同じ考えの奴がよく新選組に入る気になったもんだな。
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのは心外らしい。どうかなんとかわけのわからねえことを抜かしてやがったんだよ。近藤さんも近藤さんであっさり丸め込まれやがって。
近藤さんってお人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
その伊藤さんが参謀で弟が9番組組長か。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame.
三男さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Sanan laughed dryly and shook his head.
伊藤さんは学識も高く弁舌に優れ剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。優秀な参謀の入隊でついに総長はお役御免というわけですね。
おい、三男さん。
Sanan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall.
As a scientist, just get a job somewhere else, dude. You could do it.
あの調子だから近頃は大使連中にも避
Because
けら
he's
れちゃう。
being...
Yeah, because he's really annoying to hang out with.
No way, that's crazy. How could that happen?
どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし、何を言っても皮肉と嫌味しか返ってこねえから、大使たちも怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
As they fucking should.
Wow. Makes sense.
Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sanan was somehow liked by other warriors before his injury, which is weird.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよ。
I'm pretty sure Sanan's the source of some of those bad vibes and sour moods, but okay.
そんなことできるわけねえだろうが。近藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみてえだしな。伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされりゃ黙っちゃいねえだろ。
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せ。
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。そんなめんどくさいの。
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seems no one spoke in his defense. Only one during all of this quietly sipped his tea. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup.
So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is, you know.
様々な考えを持つ者が属してこそ、タイというのは広がりを見せるものだ。
Ah, so then.
だが無理に広げようとすると、内部から瓦解を始めることもある。
His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. We're doomed. It was considerate of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not just straight up disaster. The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty.
It's chilly! Sorry.
I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Holy shit, it's really cold. Guess spring will take a while. Wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan and his condition that truly worried me because, man, that guy's the worst.
I really wish his arm would just, like, fix itself.
Oops. That arm, or perhaps more accurately, the lack of it. Did he lose his arm? the source of his change in personality. Or maybe it just brought out the real him. Still, as nice as it would be for Sanhan's arm to just fucking start working again, that's, you know, not fucking real. So, that was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれ
I
るんじゃないか
remembered that thing that I'm not supposed to know about.
Wow, I thought this happened a lot faster. Like him, like, turning on himself.
What?
I just thought him taking the potion happened a lot sooner than this.
Sooner than this? This is
Yeah.
already pretty...
A year's passed, pretty much. I thought it was like, I thought it took him a couple months and then he was just like,
I mean,
life.
to be fair, technically in the, like, months that we've seen, it's only been a couple of months because we skipped a lot. Like, not we skipped a lot, but the game skips a lot of months. Okito was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Actually, the fact that we even remember that conversation is kind of incredible. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances.
Demo.
And I was not about to know the existence. I'm not supposed to know about it anyways. Whoops, oopsie. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I would be punished, probably murdered. But, you know, I'm the daughter of a doctor. Do you know who I am? I'm, like, pretty sure that I have more knowledge on medicine than none of the Shinsengumi do. I know how to put a band-aid on, goddammit. I return to my room.
We have to be on our best behavior for this man.
Maybe I should just go back to my room. I don't want to, like, you know, get in trouble for wandering. But, like, most of all, I really don't want to run into anyone, particularly Sanan. I would fucking hate that, so... You know, guess I'm kind of worried about Sanan, or at least the implications of what he's going to do to our lives. But, you know, maybe it's best for me to just stay the fuck out of the way.
Imagine he was at our room. I'd cry.
Oh, that would be the fucking worst. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon, the compound exploded with activity. My worry increased tenfold. This is not good for my stress levels. Did something happen? Waited for a few moments for the activity to settle down, but no such thing. Something's wrong, I can feel it. Struggled against it for as long as I could, but eventually my curiosity got the better of me. There must be someone in the common room. Decided to ask someone what happened.
Oh, you can either see it or not see it.
Yeah.
I forgot.
You absolute doofy.
Sorry.
どいつもこいつも何してやがるんだ。三男さんから目を離すなってあれだけ言ったじゃねえか。
It was boring.
そんなこと言われてもよ。薬を飲むとは思わねえだろ普通。
You guys, one of you did.
薬を持っててもおかしくはねえし。
小瓶一つぐらいなら懐に隠し持ってても気づかなかっただろうしな。確かにあの薬を使えば腕は治るかもしれねえだろうが、あれは失敗作なんだろう。飲んだ連中もみんな結局は血に狂っちまった。
And he started out crazy, so God only knows what'll happen.
三男さんは
I wondered what they meant by treatment. Occasionally, I'd heard the captains referring to something similar from time to time. So did Sanan drink that thing?
三男総長は独自に薬の改良を続けていたと聞きます。理性を保ったまま腕の傷を治す。その成功にかけたのでしょうが、失敗を悟った三男総長は掃除の静止を聞かず自尽したと。
Suicide!
The words were past my lips before I'd even thought of them. One word anyways, cause that's not multiple words. Is one. Everybody turn towards me. That's awkward. Please stop.
どうしてお前がここにいる？
The longer his cold gaze kept me pinned, the tighter my throat became, and now I can't breathe. Uh-oh. Felt a strange combination of anxiety, suspicion, and animosity that I had felt before on the night I arrived to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Now, as then, I am in danger.
トシ、そろそろ彼女にも聞いてもらった方がいいんじゃないか。彼女はコードーさんの娘だ。知る権利はあるだろう。
Felt my eyes go wide at the mention of my papa's name. Why would his name come up here? Is this all his fault? Don't tell me. It's all his fault. Hijikata's gaze slid to Kondo, sporting an unpleasant grimace. After a moment, however, he gave me a long, exasperated sigh and turned back to me. Oh, the sigh was just directed in general, not at me.
Thank you.
That's so kind of you to say. Oh my gosh.
そいつをてめえの肝にしっかり命じてから話を聞け。
Like it hasn't been this whole time. Anyways, the intensity of this statement felt like a sharp dagger pointed at my throat. I'm the daughter. The Shinsengumi only let me stay with them in the slight chance I'd come in handy when the time arose to search for my father. Though it wasn't their primary duty, the Shinsengumi had to watch for all manhunts. There's nothing left to tie me here apart from my memories of the last year.
Why don't I leave before I hear anything else?
My words were flushed with a lot of worry. Hijikata thinned his eyes like he was speaking to a servant. Hey now, bitch.
まだ殺さねえよ。もっともいつ死のうと困らねえがな。
Cool.
I'm glad, I suppose, that I'm not gonna be killed, but like this, you know, no one's happy to hear that. I'd been with the Shinsengumi for nearly a year and my position with them hadn't changed. The truth got deep.
今までは君にも伏せていたのだが、コードーさんはもともとここで薬の研究をしていてな。
Uh-huh.
I gulped audibly and I carefully formulated what I was going to say in my head before I said it aloud.
The one that Sanan took?
When Kondo nodded, it was as if there was a great weight resting on
あの
him.
薬はもともと幕府の高官がここに持ち込んだものだ。何でも西洋との交易で手に入れたものだと聞かされている。
Curiosity swelled inside of me and my head felt light from the anticipation. Still, I knew that digging deep is dangerous. These thoughts swirled.
人間の筋力と自然治癒能力を爆発的に高める西洋渡来の薬。
Wait a minute. We have the Wolverine power. Was our dad testing this shit on us? Oh my god.
We only have the healing part, though. We don't go crazy. And we're not super strong.
Well, yeah,
if anything.
Like I said, testing.
He found the component that only heals us.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we would have.
I don't think our dad's
could have
that
been
smart
strong.
if they fucking abandoned this group of homes.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I lost the... I was gonna use a word, like... But I really hadn't figured out which word yet as I was saying it.
I see.
I think the H word, like the sound of the H felt natural, but I was like, hose isn't right. So then I was like, homies? Because then also in my head, as I was saying, I was like, losers?
Homer Simpson?
致命傷でなければ傷は立ちどころに塞がる。つまり首を落とされるか心臓を打たれぬ限り戦い続けることができるのだ。
Does such a concoction even exist? Felt like I was hearing some sort of fairy tale.
ただし
The German ones that all have really bad endings.
Right. The one where everybody dies at the end.
A price.
あれを飲んだ人間は狂気に駆られ 人の血なしでは生きることさえできなくなるのだ。
Seems like a very simple price.
新選組の
Right.
大使をじ
Easy peasy.
What if you could just drink your own blood?
I mean,
My father!
somewhere deep in my heart, I knew my father had some connection with all of this, considering they keep bringing him up. Knowing my father was involved with driving men mad, all I could do was wonder, why? Perform experiments on the Shinsengumi.
So, that night in the alley?
Saito nodded plainly.
薬を飲んだ大使たちは南部邸にいる。ヤギ邸では人目につくからな。血に触れぬ限り正気を失うことはない。我々にとっては。
Wait, so long as they don't get any
Girl,
blood, they stay calm?
Which one? Oh god.
Saito spoke quietly and indifferently. It was as if what he talked about was a distant memory. Do you have the hiccups? What is happening? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This keeps happening to you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh. Living with them for so long made me forget. There's still a line between myself and the Shinsengumi that couldn't be crossed. And his coldness reminded me of this notion. I don't know how we forget that when they literally threaten our life like every 2 months.
Literally. I'm like so totally all right. Yeah.
無理すんな。こんな話を聞かされりゃ気分が。
Of course you'd be sick with hiccups after hearing this.
おしゃべりはその辺にしとけ。今は三男さんのことが先だろうが。
No, put me first.
三男さん、死にかけてるじゃねえか。
Ah.
薬はここに持ち込まれたばかりの頃とは違う。まだ狂うと決まったわけじゃねえ。薬が効いてるんならどんな怪我でも治るはずだからな。
Hijikata felt like he was restrained in saying this as if he was trying to keep his hopes low.
近藤さん、あんたは三男さんの様子を見てきてくれるか。今夜生きるか死ぬか狂うかの瀬戸際だろうからな。
うん、行ってこよう。確か彼の部屋には
You know who lives, who dies, who goes crazy.
Who tells my story?
Kondo nodded deeply and then stood and walked away. I mean, walked towards the room. Whatever.
ああ、わかってる。
新橋、前川邸の様子を見てきてくれるか。
わかった。
As he passed, Nagakura's eyes met mine for an instant, and his gaze. In them, Hey, are you fucking doing this right now? Are you fucking doing this to me right now? Filling with doubt and suspicion towards me? You really want to fucking go?
斉藤は中庭で待機しろ。伊藤一派の警戒と牽制を頼む。御意。
Eventually, he kind of faced his gaze to me.
Just kill me at this point, dude.
今夜は幹部のそ
Oh, I get to pick.
Ooh.
You got it. A wink.
Okay.
Seemed as though his suggestion wasn't out of worry for my well-being, but rather that it wasn't wise for me to be wandering around. That's fine. I don't give a shit.
絶対に行くんじゃねえぞ。
Yeah, I don't want to go there anyways.
気が立ってるからな。
Yeah, it makes sense.
Bowed slightly, but even with their warnings, I would be limited. Where do I go? Winds chilled the courtyard. The candle flickered. The air is still, the whole place silent. It's hard to believe that the chaos of the common room was only moments ago. Shit. Saito stood in a daze, gathering thoughts as he watched the stars shiver in the distance.
中に戻っていた方がいいのではないか。
No.
冷えるぞ。
I'm fine. I'm not cold.
Saito stared at me, his expression blank, and he seemed to be calculating. But alas, he simply looked back to the sky.
剣に生きる者にとって、己が腕は生きる意味そのもの。それを失ってしまえば、自ら命を絶つのもまた。
Am I gonna have to watch out for you if you get injured? Oh god. Saw the wide air of Saito's breath as he muttered to himself.
あの薬に手を出すほど追い詰められているとは思わなかった。
Yep. You get it. See, this is why we like you.
Saito.
Saito wasn't the best at expressing how he felt, but it was clear that his words were tinged with pain. I could sense he was deeply remorseful for not being able to stop Sanan.
What's gonna happen to him?
Between us followed a period of silence, and I hate that I even fucking asked that question. Why am I so stupid? There's no way for Saito to know that answer. Soon, though, he quietly responded, and it was no surprise to see him become disengaged.
新選組の総長が狂ったことが公になるくらいなら、三男さんには死んでもらった方がいいだろうな。
What?
My voice cracked, but Saito scarcely blinked.
Could you live with that, Saito? If you were to be given orders to assist with Sanan's beheading.
俺の解釈ならば、さして苦しませることなく、三男さんをあの世へ送ることができる。
Nice.
そうせねばならぬのなら、誰であろうと切る。
Hey, if we ever have to die, can you make sure it's that fast too? Chill grazed my spine, but not from the night air. Couldn't believe it. Is this what it takes to be a Shinsengumi warrior? He could probably kill me at any moment if it were called upon him. I realized just how expendable I was.
できるなら仲間は殺したくない。あれは寝覚めの悪いものだ。
The night I'd met Saito, I'd watched him kill a man whom he may have known without blinking. Maybe that's how it looked to me. Thought him cold at the time, but I realized now how much pain he must have been in. There's no way it wouldn't be painful, moving together with hope of sharing a vision. Just then I sensed someone approaching us. Hey, we're having a moment. Better not be fucking Sanan, I swear to God. I gasped and turned around.
さっきからヒロマの方が騒がしいが、何かあったのか
No.
まだ起きていたのか。
あれだけ騒がれてのんきに寝てられると思うのか。で、何があった。他の連中にも聞いてみたが、要領を得ない答えしか返ってこなくてな。
I spilled everything, sir. It was me. I spilled everything. Kondo made sure to tell us to keep Ito and his gang from finding out what happened tonight. How are we supposed to play it off? Panicked, I looked at Saito. I'm not helping. Oh God.
今の段階ではあんたに明かすことはできぬ。
おお、幹部の俺にもか。
俺とて事態を完全に把握しているわけではない。今の状況を下手に明かしても、いらぬ誤解を招くだけだ。
Nice.
明日になれば局長や副長が改めて説明の場を設けてくださるはずだ。それも
Oops.
なるほど。
He shrugged at his answer and shuffled off without saying another word. Nailed it. Oh, fuck yeah.
You think you did a good job? Do you think Miki's satisfied with that?
そこまで愚鈍ではあるまい。かの者は伊藤さんの実弟だからな。
Yeah, that's
とはいえ、無用な騒ぎを起こしたがるたちだとも思えぬ。
I do.
気は許さぬ方がいいだろうが、無用な警戒もまたいらぬはずだ。
Saito's reserved nature made it difficult for people to observe him, but he was used to this. He used this to his advantage and seemed to be astute when watching others.
何にせよ今は三男さんの無事を祈るだけだ。
Yeah, boy.
Above us sang the wind of the gentle night, its song catching the ears of the star-filled sky. Oh God. Did you want to take a break for your hiccups, or are you okay?
Oh yeah, we should probably order